Because it's so simple to concoct fascinating theories for how and why things exist, perplexing old discoveries have a way of capturing the public's attention. Several archaeological discoveries have left scientists wondering about what happened. Welcome back, everyone! In today's video, we will share several discoveries scientists can't explain. Let's begin! Stone spheres in Costa Rica. The Diquís Delta in southern Costa Rica is dotted with enormous stone spheres, some of which date back as long as AD 600. These monuments, which the local refer to as the balls or las bolas, are the creations of a pre-Columbian culture. Most of them are composed of gabbro, a type of rock formed from molten magma. Archaeologists who examine the ancient rocks believe that other small stones were probably used by the people who cut the stones into their precisely spherical shapes. The so-called Diquís spheres, according to many non-specialists, may have been utilized for astronomical purposes, while other non-specialists believe that they may have served as landmarks. The truth is that no one is certain, and this old puzzle may never be cleared up. Following the Spanish invasion, the Chibchan people who had lived in Costa Rica and other parts of Central America disappeared, taking the meaning of the spheres with them. Antikythera mechanism. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism remains a huge archaeological mystery, looking like something out of a magical treasure movie. The round bronze relic has a labyrinth of interconnecting gears and strange symbols carved all over its exposed faces. It was discovered in the buried wreckage of a Greek cargo ship at least 2,000 years old. Archaeologists are still learning more about this object, which was once believed to be a type of navigational astrolabe. Still, they now understand that it was, at the very least, an extremely complex astronomical calendar. It is still the most advanced artifact from that era that has ever been discovered, and it existed 1,000 years before another one somewhat similar. Cleopatra's tomb. Between 305 and 30 BC, Egypt was ruled by a group of kings known as the Ptolemies, the last of whom was Cleopatra VII. Although much is known about Cleopatra's intellect, attractiveness, and personal relationships, her final resting location is still a mystery. After their erstwhile ally, Octavian, beat them at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, Cleopatra and Antony killed themselves. The two were interred in what the historian Plutarch, AD 45 to 120, referred to as a lofty and gorgeous monument close to an Isis temple in Egypt. But it's still unclear exactly where this tomb is. If the lover's tomb is ever discovered, there's a chance it will be empty, because according to archaeologists, grave theft was prevalent in ancient times. Qin Shi Huang's tomb. Farmers in China's Shaanxi region unintentionally discovered the life-size terracotta army of Emperor Qin Shi Huang in 1974, making it one of the largest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, 259 BC to 210 BC. The purpose of the meticulously carved figures is known to historians. The clay army was built to protect China's first ruler in the afterlife. What is unknown, however, is the specific location of the emperor's grave or the potential contents of his burial chamber. A mile or two northeast of the site of the terracotta army lies a tomb with a pyramidal design. However, nobody has ever gone inside the mausoleum where Qin Shi Huang's remains are kept. According to historical records documenting its creation, the first emperor's ultimate resting place is the most lavish tomb ever built in China. The mausoleum is built up of a network of tunnels and even has a cutting-edge drainage system. It is an underground palace with a surrounding kingdom replete with a drainage system. The countless valuables that lie inside and whether archaeologists will ever have the necessary equipment to safely explore the tomb remain a mystery. Atlantis. If every story were true, the lost metropolis of Atlantis would have been found in the Bahamas, the Greek islands, Cuba, and perhaps Japan. The mythical island was reputedly a powerful maritime force before dissolving into the sea about 10,000 years ago in a catastrophic disaster, according to Plato, an ancient Greek historian who first mentioned it in 360 BC. Among the numerous underwater ruins found worldwide, archaeologists question whether the island ever existed historically and where it would have been most likely to be found. But even without concrete evidence, Atlantis continues to capture the public's imagination in a way that few other ancient riddles have. Stonehenge. One of the most well-known sites in the world, the prehistoric structure known as Stonehenge brightens an otherwise dull English countryside. All archaeologists know for sure that the ring of megalithic stones was built around 4,000 years ago and was a remarkable achievement for the prehistoric people who built it. All of the theories regarding Stonehenge's initial use, which vary from an astronomical observatory to a spiritual temple, have yet to be shown to be true. Ancient animal traps. Since their discovery by pilots in the early 20th century, the low stone walls that traverse the deserts of Israel, Egypt, and Jordan have baffled scholars. The network of lines, which some experts have dubbed kites because of their presence in the air dating to 300 BC, was abandoned long ago. According to a new study, the kites were used to direct wild animals toward a shallow hole where they could be readily murdered in huge numbers, which may help to shed some light on the riddle. This effective approach shows that local hunters knew more than previously believed about the habits of the local wildlife. NAZCA lines. The Peruvian NAZCA lines could be more impressive from the ground up. However, they are breathtaking when viewed from above, where they were initially discovered by commercial planes in the 1920s and 1930s. Archaeologists concur that hundreds of enormous shapes, ranging from geometric lines to intricate representations of animals, plants, and fictitious figures, were created more than 2,000 years ago by members of the pre-Inca Nazca culture, who merely scraped away the red surface pebbles to reveal the lighter earth below in patterns of their choosing. The reason they did it is still a mystery, which has led some people to believe in conspiracy theories about ancient astrology and alien landings. According to researchers, the lines were most likely used as a ritual means of contact with the Nazca deities. The Great Pyramids. To say nothing of what might still be discovered, even the knowledge archaeologists currently know about the Great Pyramids of Egypt is incredibly fascinating. The three-pyramid complex, of which Khufu, the biggest, dominates the site, was built in Cairo about 5,000 years ago. It is a tribute to the ancient Egyptians' esteem for their pharaohs and the subtleties of their belief in the afterlife. Even today, archaeologists are continuously finding fresh tunnels and shafts created inside the pyramids and looking for hints as to who, how, and why these enormous structures were erected. Shroud of Turin. The mysterious Shroud of Turin, which many think to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, is perhaps the subject of more controversy than any other archaeological find. The darkening imprint of a man's torso and blood-stained traces may be seen on this lengthy piece of twill fabric. The shroud was first discovered at a chapel in Lire, France in AD 1353, when the Catholic Church first acknowledged its existence. But the shroud mythology has been around since AD 30 or 33. The shroud was allegedly brought from Judea, modern-day southern Palestine, to Edessa, Turkey, and then to Constantinople, now called Istanbul. The cloth was taken to Athens, Greece, after the Crusaders took control of Constantinople in AD 1204, which is said to have been kept until AD 1225. The cloth was available to researchers in the 1980s when they attempted to use radiocarbon dating to ascertain its actual age. They concluded that the supposed burial cloth for Jesus was made between 1260 and 1390. In other words, the scientists concluded that the fabric was most likely a fake from the Middle Ages. According to detractors of this research, the shroud appears to be newer than it actually is, who claim that the scientists may have improperly dated pieces of the shroud that were stitched together decades after Jesus' death. That is all for this video. We will be back soon with another informative video. Don't forget to like and share this video.